he's about to say that he's going to sell Game Theory. And then he said he sold Game Theory, and then I stopped it because I wanted to watch the rest on stream with y'all, of course. Yeah, he really did, apparently. So let's just get to it, guys. Come on.
So the other day I stumbled across this video. It is probably one of the most massively important videos on this website, but I don't think most of us have ever actually seen it. Here's a clip.
Hi YouTube, this is Chad and Steve. We're the co-founders of the site. Today we have some exciting news for you. We've been acquired by Google. We wouldn't be anywhere close to where we are without the help of this community.
So that right there, my friends, is Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and I believe behind the camera is Jawed Karim, the 3 co-founders of YouTube, announcing that they had just sold their company to Google. I mean, sure, we all are at least passingly familiar with Day at the Zoo, which is officially the first video uploaded onto YouTube, but this one right here, a message from Chad and Steve, is arguably more important. Watching this video nowadays, it is shocking how YouTubey it felt back, 16 years ago? I mean, this thing was uploaded in 2006, but listen to it.
2 kings have gotten together, and we're going to be able to provide you an even better service and build even...
I just want to point out how amusing it has 4.3 million views. Like, if that happened today, like YouTube was getting sold at the size it is now, it would have like hundreds of millions.
More innovative features for you.
They laugh, they joke, they go off script, they get meta by talking about what bloopers they're gonna keep in. I mean, towards the end, they even make a Burger King joke.
The king of search, the king of video have gotten together. We're gonna have it our way.
This video, where a group of 3 friends announce that they have just made the biggest business deal of their life, set the tone for what a YouTube video...
How much did they sell it for? Like, I think they sold it for like several $billions. Like, not dollars, but like worth of equity, like Google equity and stuff like that. They made bank, those guys, as they deserve. They made YouTube
look and feel like before the concept of a YouTube video even existed.
Of course, everyone remembers the old Austin episodes in Game Theory. Yeah, they still happen occasionally, right?
That's crazy. But this video is also noteworthy because of what it did for the future of online video. Sure, these 3 had a grand vision of how great their website could be and just how much greater it could become, but they were just 3 dudes and the team that they had managed to assemble. They needed help, they needed expertise, and a lot of extra hands to help make it realize its fullest potential. By selling YouTube to Google, these 3 took a successful idea and they supercharged it. YouTube...
I love how he just throws in the Bendy and the Ink Machine Theory iCard in here, because like, why not? You get 5, may as well use them.
Is now the 2nd most visited website in the world, and it's created a home and a job for
Half Asleep Ego. I don't think that's how it's gonna work. I'm sure he sold, like, here's the thing about a YouTube channel, guys. Like, you can't... MatPat's channel is worthless without MatPat. Duh. So he can sell equity in his channel, but he still needs to be involved in it to some degree, right?
Everything from like funny cats and VTubers and Walmart yodelers, both gamers and gamers alike, artists, editors, animators, soap carvers, I mean, you name it, any other creator out there who has something to say, they can find a job here on YouTube. All of our lives would look substantially different had it not been for that one video. So, why am I telling you that? Well, because Steph and I just sold Theorist.
Whoa! So anyone saying, okay, what's that in chat? They didn't sold it, says Xenoclaw. I'd like to direct your attention to what MatPat just said.
Why am I telling you that? Well, because Steph and I just sold Theorist.
So Theorist Media is his company that does like his big company. Like that's like film theory and game theory and his merch and all that stuff. Like I think Theorist Media is the main company. That's like the big one. For like business reasons, they may subdivide things, but that's the main company that owns everything, is my understanding. And I don't know if that includes his consultancy, because he also has a he also runs a consultancy where he like does like digital marketing strategy, like consultancy stuff, social media stuff. I don't know if that's included. Maybe.
We sold this business. This channel is no longer only my channel. This logo that has been beside my face for the last 12 years is no longer just my logo. These colors, clickbait green, no longer my clickbait green. And I know that sounds scary when I just say those words. Change is always going to be a little bit scary, but by making this move now, it ensures that this place, this this channel, this awesome thing that you've been a part of, helping me build for the last 12 years, it stays protected and it stays healthy and it continues to thrive for years of Theorists yet to come. Together, we have done some incredible and amazing and also cringeworthy and meme-worthy things over the last 12 years. We've made video games come to real life. We have given Undertale to the Pope. That's more on the meme-worthy side. We've raised millions of dollars for charity, for children in hospitals. But we've also, simultaneously whipped and nay-nayed. So really, we've ran a huge gamut here. Through it all, though, we have spent way too long talking and thinking about murderous animatronics. But the thing is now, those adventures are just the beginning. Just like Chad and Steve inside that video, Steph and I realized that we were holding ourselves and our team and also this community back. And that with partners, with the right partners who respected us and also respected you, that we could finally do all the cool projects that we wanted to roll out.
Imagine it's like, and thus, we've decided to sell Theorist Media to Defy Media.
For just the longest time. I mean, case in point here, do you know how long it took us to finally launch Food Theory? 3 years. 3 years for a single channel. We knew that.
So because they know how you have to launch, even with, that's the crazy thing, even with all of MatPat's like residual, like, yeah, I have these huge channels that do tens of millions of views every week. And like, I can just direct everyone and say, hey, I've got a new channel, go sub. Even then, he's like, no, I know that's not enough. Like, he needed to have that, like, 6, 7 videos ready. Maybe more like 4 or 5 videos ready from the start. Oh my gosh, Amir. Thank God my alerts were on. Thank you so much for your $1 super chat. Yes, we bought Game Theory. I am the new owner of Game Theory. I bought it from MatPat for $3.50. And I agreed that MatPat doesn't have to read any more FNAF books. I'll read the FNAF. I'm going to do the FNAF theories from now on. That's the surprise, guys. I bought Game Theory. Yeah, like MatPat knows that you have to spend a lot of time like building out a channel. It's like when people ask me for shout outs, it's like, I'll give you a shout out, but you're not going to like build a channel off of a shout out like that. That's not how it works. MatPat's channels all produce like one like 15 to 20 minute long, like well edited, scripted, like legit piece of content a week. All of his channels at least, right? So you got Film Theory, you got Game Theory, now you got Food Theory, like there's so much content. Like for someone like MatPat to keep up the level of content that he's producing, it takes a lot of money. Yeah, it takes a lot of money. It's totally different from something like me, from like a channel like mine, like where I just do everything and I have no expenses other than the equipment I need, right? He's got employees and his employees have families that rely on him. And it's like, YouTube can be a really weird business. I have videos that have 100,000 views that made as much money as videos with 200,000 views. That happens sometimes, and the same length videos. Oh my gosh, a bunch of super chats all of a sudden. Thank you guys so much. You guys are super generous.
MatPat selling his company is indeed newsworthy. Just wanted to give you some schmeckles. Watch your blackmail video and I gotta say, the best stories go from the bottom up, man. Keep at it. God bless.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Dr. Wasabi, for your 10 pounds. That's ridiculously generous. Who's next?
Matthew sold his channel?
Yes, he did. Well, him and Steph were the owners, so their channel. Can't forget Steph. I think Steph is the real brains behind Game Theory. Who's that?
Here you can now afford the Game Thunker.
Thank you so much, Cricket Gaming HD. YouTube takes 30% of it, but I can almost afford it, so thank you.
That we wanted to do Food Theory way back in 2017, and I can even prove it to you. Here's a video from the top of 2018 where I drop a reference.
I also know he always wanted to do Music Theory. It's a great name, but like you'll never get Music Theory done with YouTube's copyright system. It's just never going to happen. So, or Book Theory, he explained why that wouldn't work. I've always said MatPat's the next one should be Conspiracy Theory. Do like Wendigoon, but like MatPat style, and call it Conspiracy. That'd be a great channel. I'd love that.
In 2017, and I can even prove it to you. Here's a video from the top of 2018 where I drop a reference to it publicly for the first ever time. I don't think this is actually a real food either.
New theory coming out. But
that's a food theory. Thanks for munching.
Wow.
Ro didn't know it at the time, but this was definitely something that was coming. We just assumed that it was going to happen much, much sooner than it actually did. You see, we wanted to launch Food Theory in 2018. Then it rolled over into 2019. And it took us until mid-2020 to actually get the channel fully operational. It took us 2 full
I believe
years
it.
to hire and
Yeah.
train new editors, to find more food-centric researchers.
How many editors?
Full years to hire and train new editors.
3 editors. Wow.
To find more food-centric researchers, to work on hundreds of different versions of the logo until we created the perfect one. Why did it take so long? Because time is our most limited resource. All of us on the team were already working on all the regular videos.
Cricket Gaming, thank you so much for another $5 super chat. Wow, you guys are super generous.
I
Don't
hope
forget to
you're
like
doing
the
all
stream.
right, man. Also, here is another 5 so you really can afford Game Thunker.
Thank you so much. I'll have to check out Thunker. Oh my gosh, we have 100 likes already. Thank you so much to everyone for liking the stream. I appreciate it.
Includes notes and thumbnails and filming. We were also doing St. Jude at the time, and Steph and I were consulting.
Yeah,
We were
St. Jude. I've got mad St. Jude merch, and I should let you know because I was recently buying some other merch on the some FNAF merch from MatPat because MatPat has the coolest FNAF merch. That's for sure. Everyone knows that. He's got a lot of the FNAF shirts suck. MatPats are actually like the 80s, the security breach ones. I think are pretty cool.
Hello.
Dr. Wasabi, thank you so much for a £5 super chat. A Streamlabs account.
Making a Streamlabs account gets you almost 100% of the donations. My friend
Yeah,
does
it's
it. Gotta
complicated.
recommend it, man.
Yeah, the problem with Streamlabs is it's harder to integrate. It's not as simple as it's not as easy to get a super chat where it's just right there in the app. You know what I mean? So what I want to do is when the plushies come out, I want to trigger like huge stuff on my stream for the pre-orders because I don't want anyone super chatting if they haven't pre-ordered a plushie. So what I was going to say is though that the Game Theory's $1 Million Challenge for St. Jude, they still have some of these shirts and the hoodies with the gold Game Theory logo and the $1 million on it. They still have some of those available. I got mine during the actual event, but you can buy them, and MatPat's still giving the money to St. Jude. He's still giving that portion of the revenue to St. Jude. So if you want to get a dope Game Theory shirt and support St. Jude, it's a good deal right now on MatPat's merch store. If one of the mods wants to link MatPat's Theoryware, I think theoryware.com.
traveling to conventions to hang out with you guys. And that's all the fun stuff. That isn't even mentioning all the unsexy stuff of actually running a responsible business. All the things you don't want to think about, like taxes and payroll and contract review and meetings. So many meetings.
Oh God, yeah, no. Meetings are the worst thing ever. When I was a software developer, which was 6 months ago, meetings were the bane of my existence. I would have never succeeded as a developer because, well, as a middle manager, because
I
meetings.
just finished watching the whole video. It's crazy how at the end, MatPat pulls off his Mission Impossible rubber mask to reveal he was Theft King the whole time.
Thank you so much for your €10 super chat, Retro. That's possible, I suppose. We'll see. We have a lot left of the video. Also, this is an incredible freeze frame of MatPat, just gonna say. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's the MatPat shot. There's gorgeous MatPat.
I cannot tell you how much of my life is wasted in meetings. Oh wait, yeah, I actually can tell you how much of my life is wasted in meetings. Google Calendars actually has a feature that breaks down how your time is scheduled on a month-to-month basis.
Sneaky030, thank you so much for your $5 too. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much.
Just tossing you a 5. Keep up the good work on your vids, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, and I was curious. I'm a data guy. I'm like, oh, I wonder how my time's breaking down. 80 hours of meetings last month alone. 4 full days in
80 hours of meetings? MatPat, my dude. He's got a kid and a wife. Do they have a second child on the way? I guess not. Probably not if he's that busy. And he's, oh my gosh.
meetings. That is crazy. That hit hard. Don't get me wrong. I love our team. I love Tom. I love Amy.
Dr. Wasabi, thank you so much for your £2 super chat.
God forbid I become successful and pay taxes.
Oh,
Smiley face.
I honestly just get an accountant. That's what I did. Get an accountant. Now that I have actual money from YouTube, it's like just get an accountant, have them tackle it. They'll do it. Get a good one, but yeah.
Amy, I love Ash. I love Jason. Less so.
I guarantee you, we're gonna see in the coming days. We're gonna see MatPat. We're gonna see MatPat do a theory or like get a sponsorship that's all about efficiency and like cutting down on meetings, doing the whole Elon Musk thing of like walking out of meetings and stuff.
Jason. Spending that time with Jason was taking me away from the thing that I fell in love with doing. Working on new, cool, silly, thoughtful, wacky projects for you guys. You know what else hit me hard recently? The realization that over the last 10 years, I have never once left for vacation without packing my VO recording setup. This thing, if I ever go on a
Oh, dude, I know what that's like. I haven't had any time for breaks in the last year, basically, and I get how it is. Like, yeah, because he's worried. Like, even though MatPat's the kind of guy who can prepare like several videos in advance and go take a vacation and just go chill, like, you never know. It's like you want to be there. What if randomly a video drops about how MatPat sold his channel and you need to just go live immediately? You know, like.
A romantic vacation with Steph, this is the third wheel. It is always with me. Now that I think about
it. Very funny. Romantic, yeah, he goes on his romantic vacation. He's got to have their third wheel with them, the microphone.
There was one time when I didn't bring this with me. It was Steph and my final vacation before we had a child. No joke, that is the only time in my life.
You know what? I'm glad that you at least got one vacation, no kids, no portable voiceover setup. Good. I'm glad you at least got one, my dude.
I have ever packed a bag without bringing this along with me. But then when you stop and look at what work needs to get done in a given week, you can start to understand why this thing is permanently grafted onto my arm. Every week we produce anywhere between 7 and 10 videos. That is insane. I mean, sure, some of them are me just sitting on this couch and being bad at video games. Those are the easy ones. But more often than not, those videos require tons of research.
Yeah.
Way too much editing. It requires this constant need.
Hang on.
This couch and being bad
we have
at
a shot
video
of their
games,
editor.
those
Hang
are
on.
the easy ones. But more often than not, those videos require tons of research.
Okay, how are they working here? Oh my gosh, look at that time. I can only see half the timeline. Are those like a million adjustment layers? Oh no, God, you're an anime. Oh my God, they're an animation. No wonder it looks so bizarre.
Too much editing. It requires this constant need to execute every hour of every week of every year. We have never taken a break. And you know, we could hire more people. Yes, absolutely. We have taken an effort to hire amazing people, like Ash behind the camera right now, Sam and Josiah in the room behind me, the rest of the team who lives all across the world. But it took a long time to find.
Oh, their team's remote. I guess their team has to be remote to survive throughout COVID. That's pretty cool though. So if you ever see an opening at MatPat, you don't have to live in LA. If you ever see an opening at Theorist Media, just apply. If you think you're qualified, go for it. Why not?
Find them. And it's important to remember that when you hire new people, it takes time, attention. You have to give those people feedback. You have to train them, coordinate with them. Also means more taxes and contracts and paperwork for Steph and Jason and I. And all of this is without getting into YouTube in 2022, my friends. YouTube in 2022 is also starting to require us to do shorts to be relevant, which, you know, I have my thoughts on, but that is just the way of the system. All of us on the team, we're excited about those. Doing something short form, oh, it's gonna be like a breath of fresh air for us. It's gonna be amazing. But it also means
Coda,
that there's even more stuff on our plate. And
I need you to make me shorts.
Honestly, that's a shame, because this team has so many good ideas. Lee, over on Film Theory, he's an incredible storyteller. Head editor Dan, you might have seen him sitting on the couch here. He is hilarious on camera.
Sorry about what I rated you, Dan, in the faces thing. It wasn't an especially flattering photo. It was sort of a photo that exemplifies the neckbeard. In fact, Dan, you should head over to manscaped.com and use code TheftKing, and you could get the Performance Package 4.0, and I'm telling you, dude, best razor you'll ever own. And the underwear is pretty nice, too.
Sedge, he's one of our editors.
Or shoot, I don't want to name the product wrong.
Jason, he's got good ideas too. Don't tell him I said that though. I'll never live it down. Everyone on the team is so talented.
I smile all the time.
I cannot tell you what an honor it is to get to work with them day in and day out and share in that creativity. And there are so many awesome ideas that just float around between us. The ARGs that we want to do for you guys. The scary mystery podcast that'll have you re-listening to search for clues. The indie game that'll get you questioning everything that you just played. The Netflix show that'll...
These are great.
The ARGs that we want.
Locked in the dungeon, an editor.
Want to do for you guys. The scary mystery podcast. Cast that'll have you re-listening to search for clues. The indie game that'll get you questioning everything that you just played. The Netflix show that'll prove to the world that anyone with a love and a passion can be a theorist. But in order to do any of it before the heat death of the universe, we just needed more help. You
needed more help, which means they needed more money, of course. And honestly, like, the alternative, a lot of creators would now turn to their fan base and be like, hey guys, we want to do way cooler stuff, so we're starting a Patreon. But like MatPat knows, like, I can't start a Patreon. Like, I'm MatPat. Like, I need to just like finance my projects the way a company does, which is by selling a fraction of the business.
all know that we try to keep...
Oh my gosh, we're almost at 200 likes. Make sure if you've enjoyed the stream so far to hit the like button. If you hit it now, there's a very good chance you'll be the 200th liker. Don't trust the button you see on the number you see on your page. It's not real time.
Aware of trends in the digital video space, right? We were the first to shine a light on the algorithms that decide what videos get popular and which ones don't. Yep. We predicted that PewDiePie would become the #1 channel, and then we predicted when he would lose that crown. We defined the generations of YouTube and codified this massive sprawl of online content into discrete packets, little digestible moments in time so you could track the history of online video. And most recently of all, I was on this couch and I talked to you about this new era of YouTube, this era of entrepreneurs, business owners, creators who are content not just to do video, but who want to use this platform to launch into other successful industry-shaping businesses. Here's the full story. There's been another trend that's happening parallel to that one where businesses recognize the value of trusted online brands and want to help them achieve their full potential.
Who is it?
Over the last 2 years, we've been approached by no less than 10 of those sorts of companies, which honestly is flattering. I can't tell you exactly who they were for confidentiality reasons.
It's like when someone asked 2-Star Gavin, the developer of Choo Choo Charles, if any developers had approached him about publishing the game prior to its release. And I was just laughing, like, of course they have. Hundreds of developers had approached Gavin about publishing Choo Choo Charles. Of course, like, and he turned them all down, which was very smart because he didn't need them. And now he keeps all the money. He doesn't have to share the money from Choo Choo Charles with like some publisher or whatever. He keeps it. It's awesome.
But let's just say that the range was massive. You had everything from like small startups to some of the largest TV producers and distributors in the world.
Yeah, I could see like an NBC wanting to like buy Matt. Like I could see that being like some young exec at NBC or some young person at like a company like NBC being like, hey, I found this thing, this game theory thing. It's super popular, and look at these huge numbers they do consistently, and they have this huge fan base. Like, I could totally see them being all over MatPat's you-know-what.
Consistent and successful content brands online, and also one of the most diverse video brands online. There was just a lot of interest in us. Not many people have channels that exist at the top of like 3 separate and very distinct verticals,
right,
or has an audience that's so willing to listen to us ramble about everything from like Marvel to small...
Right, so they have video gamers, they have movie fans, which is literally everyone, you know, like...
indie type
food fans, literally everyone. Very, very broad topics. If you notice, every topic MatPat has chosen to cover has been more broad than gaming. And I think that's why we won't see something like conspiracy theory, just because it's not more mainstream. Like, it's probably just going to be made up of the audience members from his existing fan base. He's not going to grow his audience with something like that. You know, when MatPat wants to make a new channel, he wants to pick something that's going to grow his audience and expand him into a new vertical.
Titles that you never heard of to, hey, this is how you can eat your own Christmas tree. All of that's a credit to you guys. There's a lot...
Will Theft King make a FNAF fan game? No, I'll never make a FNAF fan game, but I am... I wouldn't make a game, but I am interested in publishing games, taking some of the money I've earned from YouTube and funding indie games. Not fan games, though, indie games. I'd want to sell them and make money, duh.
Of people who wanted to talk to us about being in the business of you. But as more and more of these requests came in, Steph and I started to ask ourselves, well, what would a good partnership look like?
Yeah.
What could it deliver to us and to you? Steph was on the front lines of all of these conversations, and for the last year has basically had to give herself a crash course in...
Steph was on the front lines. This is what I've always said. I think Steph is the real brains behind game theory. I think she's the one who, when you have to like when you go for a negotiation with MatPat, she's the one. I think when you get fired from game theory, Steph is the one who fires you.
Everything.
I love Steph though. I'm just saying. I wouldn't mess with that lady.
From investment banking, M&A lawyering, to international business law.
I'm your one-stop shop for all your acquisition needs.
These conversations would sometimes take months. Hopefully one day she gets to tell all the wild stories that she has from it all, because the work was intense and honestly largely thankless. In the end, Steph and I did ultimately settle on what our criteria looked like. The perfect partner would have to respect us and our team. They'd have to trust us to do what we do best.
Yep.
YouTube, theorizing, making videos.
MatPat, anyone who MatPat makes a deal with, it's got to be like no strings attached. Like, we're going to give you money and we're going to get a piece of the action, but you guys do your thing. We're not going to mess with you. You clearly have a winning formula. Whatever you're doing, just keep it up. That's the kind of partner they need, so.
They'd have to be able to maintain our level of quality or be able to better it. They'd have to be good at dealing with all the stuff that we can't or don't want to deal with.
So wait, maintaining our level of quality. So he's not talking about an investor. He's talking about like a production company. Now I'm very confused.
They'd have to be good at dealing with all this.
I thought there was just going to be like an investor that was going to enable them to hire more people. Now it sounds like he's partnering with a production company that's going to actually work on game theory and film theory episodes, which is very different. And it's fine, but it makes me a little more nervous.
Stuff that we can't or don't want to deal with. Business pipelines, hiring stuff, social media. And most importantly of all, they'd have to respect you. Ultimately,
yeah, MatPat hates social media. MatPat follows me on Twitter, and like, you know, I never DM him because it's like, that dude's never, dude goes on Twitter like once a month, I think. He's smart. MatPat only goes on Twitter once a month or some shit, and that's how you should do it.
Wanted to find a partner.
Stay away from Twitter. It's the worst place.
Could get us out of all those boring contract review meetings and put us back into doing what we love to do, creating cool stuff for you. And eventually we found people who got it.
So okay, he's pitching this as this is going to free us up time. This is going to give us time to make more cool content, right? Okay. Convince me.
Ultimately passed the vibe check. They're an investment partner and production support company called LunarX. Look.
Okay, I don't know if I've heard of them, but okay. So both. They're an investment partner and production company. So they're going to be doing both. They are going to be both providing money and, you know, funding to help Matt do cooler stuff, Matt and Steph do cooler stuff. But they're also going to be helping with support, directly with production support and making episodes and editing and stuff like that. Interesting.
Look. Even their title and logo are nerdy. And honestly, these guys are great. Over the past couple weeks, they've been spending a lot of quality time with us here in North Carolina, hanging out with the team, doing all the nerdy stuff that we like to do together. Escape rooms, Dungeons and Dragons, movie nights, being terrible at golf together, trying to understand the sport of hockey. But most importantly of all, they've already started to have a positive impact with us. They've enabled us to do something that we wanted to do.
Okay, hang on. I'll give you guys a quick explanation. Where is it? Oh, hang on. Oh my God. LunarX is a future-forward media company. Cool.
Who,
okay.
for the past year, launched the next Theorist channel. You might have noticed that the channel banners have updated a little bit. That ring is about to become complete, my friends, in the coming month or so. And it's largely thanks to all the added resources that they're able to
I kind of liked the Red Ring of Death vibe, but okay.
provide us. No more waiting around.
Paddington just uploaded. Holy crap. Holy crap.
Until the heat death of the universe to finally launch a single channel. And you see, that is the biggest change that's going to happen here. More resources, so finally we can move just a little bit quicker. Everything else largely stays the same. I am still host of the show and CEO of Theorist. Steph is still COO, Dan still controls the editing dungeon, and Jason still controls my life. And all the rest of the team, totally intact. Steph and I made sure of it, and Lunar honestly wouldn't have it any other way. Their goal is to make us stronger, to provide us resources so we can all feel a little less pressure to execute without having to actually
I don't see any Paddington upload.
Slow down bit by bit, day by day, which allows us to be healthier humans first and foremost, rather than just mindless content machines every day. Other changes? Well, you know, you'll probably start to see more videos rolling out across the...
Okay, LunarX is a future-forward media company that invests in digital-first content brands to elevate them into globally loved franchises. We believe that the most successful content brands of the future will emerge not from boardrooms, but from creators who are able to expand their reach and transcend their platforms to better connect with the communities who love their work. Sounds good so far, actually. Very, very little information. There's almost nothing on their website. And they're German. Okay, they're a German company. All right. I'll have to reach out to them. I'll have to make a press inquiry to them later. I don't see any upload from Paddington. What are you guys talking about?
the channels.
He did? I don't see anything. I just see... Is it a short? No. Literally 1 minute ago? I'm like literally refreshing. I see his security breach highlights. Is that what he's talking about? That's from a month ago. Yeah, I don't see anything, guys. It doesn't show because the upload is so new. Okay, well, we'll check
talk
after.
about shorts. There's TikTok, at least until it gets banned. Woohoo, data privacy. And hey, who knows? We might finally get a
drop is huge news. It's as huge news as this, so.
Chance to talk to Netflix about that show that I talked about earlier. But overall, the thing to remember across all of this is that you guys, these theory channels, this will always be our home. This is our number one priority.
I got it. Holy crap.
The
okay, sorry, MatPat. Okay, we'll get to it
of
in a
our
second.
universe,
yes, let me make a thumbnail.
As it were. Get it? It's a space pun because, you know, our new company is Lunar. It's a terrible
It's a short FNAF
this
video.
This
is the short FNAF video that we've been waiting for, I think. This is sick. This is sick. This is beautiful. Thank you, Duck Dog.
They bought us for, so...
What?
Lunar. It's a terrible joke. Pun because, you know, our new company is Lunar.
Oh.
It's a terrible joke. This is the humor that they bought us for, so... Sorry. Anyway, TLDR, this is and will always be our home. And as we roll out more stuff, you'll finally start getting to see more members of the team. In fact, if you've been watching on the channel, you've started to see more members of the team. I know I mentioned before, but they are a wonderful group of people, and we've been lucky to have them with us. And finally, with resources to be able to expand a little bit, breathe a little bit, it'll finally give them a chance to have a greater voice on the channels.
Hey, MatPat, hire me. I'm
starting.
I don't know how I could do. I don't know what I could do to contribute to your channel, but I'm sure there's something.
A greater voice on the channels. They've been voicing more characters in the theories. They've been appearing on the couch here, and we've been having a great time. Instead of always
that was the girl. That was the girl from the thing. Okay.
Having to funnel through my creativity.
Def King, just buy them. Oh yeah, totally. I'll just buy Theorist Media.
They'll finally have a chance to stand on their own and have voices.
Guys, they surely sold it for like tens of millions of dollars, right? I only made a couple $1 million this year from YouTube, so.
Something that
I'm kidding. I did not make couple $1 million from YouTube.
Deserved for a long time now. And for me, in this new phase of our business, of our growth, it's my goal to give a spotlight to new and upcoming creators. Yeah, the ones on the team, but also ones off the team.
Hey.
To pay forward this platform, this voice that you've given me. In the end, I'm just interested in building communities, not empires. I want to be creative. I'm not really interested in being corporate. And with Lunar X, we found a like-minded group of individuals who could let us expand without losing the soul of what got us here in the first place. I got onto YouTube at a time when no one else was being nerdy in the way that I wanted to be nerdy. No one else.
The thing is, I don't foresee Lunar X signing on a bunch of other FNAF creators because they already own MatPat. Like, they're not, like, why would you sign on other theorists once you already own MatPat? Don't worry, we're gonna watch Paddington's video in a sec. Don't worry.
Believed that I could add value to their company.
Photoshop.
No one wanted to hire me, so I had to create something that would show them. I started my YouTube channel just to get hired by someone. Literally anyone, to be a cog in their bigger wheel, not to suddenly become the owner of the next Fortune 500 company. Steph and I are probably best described as accidental entrepreneurs. We built all of this structure around us because we were excited to create a place where it was safe to be an overthinker, but at a certain point, we became business owners first and creators second. The serious stuff started to take us away from what we loved most, which was you. Creating stuff for you. And now finally, with the help of Lunar, it looks like we're gonna be able to get back to that. And you know what? I am so excited for that. Since you know me, and since this is the Theory channel, and you know that I can't just leave the couch without making some sort of larger commentary about the state of YouTube and digital video. So here's what I got for you today, friends. Over the next few years, I think you're gonna be seeing a lot of this. We know a lot of channels who are in the same boat as us. Some have been public about looking for acquisition, others not, but I would expect to see a lot of these sorts of videos happening in the future. Change is scary. It can feel very upsetting. What this means is just good things. Online creators are finally getting the respect, attention, and most importantly, the resources that they need to get back to creating, to get back to what they loved in the first place. It means a healthier balance for everyone, and more of a focus back on the creativity that made digital video so exciting and so special to begin with. 16
Photoshop
years
is
ago,
just-
in that one video with Chad and Steve, YouTube started to pave a way forward for more independent voices to be heard. Over the years, a lot of those independent voices have gotten lost as being business owners has taken over their lives. But I think this is the next big inflection point that brings that all back. And personally,
MatPat's channel is very uniquely positioned, though.
I'm excited to be taking this adventure with you.
Very few channels are going to be appealing to a company like that the way MatPat's are, is my thing. So I don't know how big. I mean, yeah, maybe other big channels like MatPat's will be like this, but all right, now for the main